Blue Ridge Mountains are among the oldest mountain ranges in North America, and one of my favorite spots in North Carolina to go exploring. During the summer months, the warm weather and high levels of precipitation turn these mountains into a legitimate temperate rainforest, complete with a host of amphibian and reptile species. Alright, so we just got out of the car. We're at our rental right now, but actually, I walked over, so I might as well flip a rock. I checked under this rock right here, and you can get up closer so you can see them. Right. Look at that. Well, there's two. Look, there's a tail of one, and there's this individual that I just saw. Now that, I want to say, oh look! Okay, that's a mountain dusky. That's a northern slimy. This is probably also a northern slimy right there. But, let me get my hands wet so I can handle them. Alright, so now we have a little moisture barrier. Actually, let me get both hands so I can see. Ah, whoa! He flipped out. Here. Ooh. Alright. We'll put the rock back real quick. There's also like worms. There's a ton of stuff under there in this mulch. Okay. Now, that is definitely, well, actually, I don't know about definitely. It's either a gray cheek salamander or a spotless northern slimy salamander. Now, slimies we do have back at home. I've shown them on the channel before. They're actually maybe the first salamander I ever found, besides like a dusky. So these are very elongated salamanders. Pretty typical plethodon body plan. You can see that at full length, we get a little pine needle off, he's probably about 3.5 inches long. But as you know, plethodons, the woodland salamanders, actually don't have lungs. So 100% of his respiration is occurring through his skin, which means his skin is extremely sensitive. And in these montane habitats, usually water quality is not a big concern. But at my part of their range, water quality degradation can be a big problem for the species. But they're really, really neat. They're totally insectivorous, so they're under these rocks eating little invertebrates. That's pretty much it. That's all they can eat. But they are a really, really cool species. This one does not have any spots, which is kind of weird, because normally they have spots all over the place. But we're going to get some B-roll shots and then get him right back under his rock. Alright, we're going to put this little guy right back under his rock. Now, when I release salamanders back under cover, I always make sure first I put the cover back exactly as I found it, and then release them, because you don't want to put them under it and then just smash them with their rocker log. So we'll set him down right there, and there he goes. After that little gray cheek, we didn't have too much luck for the rest of the day. But on a hike the next morning, we were treated to a scaly surprise. You coming?
Yeah.
Cool, guys. Check it out. This is the coolest, well, maybe not the coolest birthday present I could have asked for, but check out the size of this absolutely gorgeous northern water snake. And the coloration is ridiculous, too. Look at the belly. I've never seen one like that. Now, she's doing the noodle, of course. That's what I love doing, but man, the belly coloration is absolutely ridiculous. This might be the biggest northern water I've ever seen. I mean, it's possible that I've seen one slightly bigger, maybe in the Raleigh area, but this one really is absolutely enormous. That girth is totally ridiculous. Now, this is the size of snake that people often see, and they think it's a viper because they are very squat at this size. But man, I can't get over that. Can you see the belly on that, Bryce?
Yeah,
I mean, look at that. It's like pebble. That's incredible. Now, she also has kind of a nub tail, so I want to say that at some point she lost her tail and then regrew it. But this, guys, is an absolute fantastic northern water snake specimen. This is definitely pretty much maximum size for this species. I don't really think they get much bigger than this. It's actually pretty unusual to see one of this size here in the mountains. They have a much shorter growing season here in the mountains, obviously, because it's a lot colder than it is in the Piedmont or at the coast. But this is like the size of some of the brown water snakes that I would see at the coast, which is just absolutely ridiculous. Now, you see that she did nip me pretty good in the arm. These snakes are usually nippy when you catch them. Occasionally you get a really calm one. This one is not one of the really calm ones. And the unique thing about northern water snakes is that while they are totally non-venomous, they actually do have anticoagulant in their saliva. So that just makes you bleed a little bit more, so it looks a little more gory when they bite you. But I'm in no danger from this snake. You can see she's coming down just a little, maybe. But she's pretty aggressive. She's not having a great time, so I'll get her back in the rocks. But if you see a snake like this and you're wondering if it's a northern water snake or maybe a venomous snake, here in the mountains, the only venomous snakes that we have are timber rattlers and copperheads. Now, timber rattlers, of course, have that kind of chevron pattern. Copperheads are relatively easily mistaken for northern waters, but if you look at her side, you'll see that her banding actually makes kind of square blotches, whereas the copperhead would have very distinct tertiary kisses. And if you look at it from the top, the pattern's kind of faded on this individual, but these bands would be reversed. They wouldn't be thick at the top, they'd be thick at the bottom. Man, that is a fantastic individual. I would say this could be, you know, at least a decade-old snake, which is really incredible that an individual had survived this long. And it's not really great weather for northern water snakes either. It seems anecdotally that the bigger ones actually do come out in the cloudy weather, but it is absolutely stunning. I've never seen a belly like that on a northern water before. It's a truly fantastic individual. But what she was actually doing, she poked up from under those rocks over there, which are man-made, and she was probably just sunning herself under the rocks because it's probably drier under there, and they do, of course, hold their heat better than non-rocky substances. So we'll get a couple B-roll shots of her and then get her back. But man, that is fantastic. Alright guys, this has been a fantastic snake to present. I'm so glad she chilled out a little bit. And once again, I've never seen an individual this big and this pretty. So we're going to get her right back under this rock pile, right where she came from. And I bet she'll scoot right back under these rocks. Can you go back, baby? Man, what an awesome animal encounter to have on my 20th birthday. That was awesome. Alright everyone, that's just about it for this video. I really hope that you enjoyed and learned something new about the gray cheek salamander and northern water snake. If you did enjoy, please be sure to leave a like on this video, and consider subscribing to my channel for new educational wildlife content, coming on Saturday mornings as often as possible. Also, for more pictures and video clips from my adventures, be sure to follow my Twitter and Instagram pages at The Wild Report. Thanks so much for watching, and keep adventuring everywhere. This has been Zino of The Wild Report, signing out.